work more than I do. So make sure that if you don't want to come to the party in phone bank and get involved, reach out to their campaigns. Help them. They're doing blog walking and phone banking. Everything we're doing in Harris County is working toward electing all the Democrats up and down the ballot. So the only thing I'd like to say is on this heard it a lot. Also give these guys a hug because they're out every day. I've seen them for a year and a half on the campaign trail, going to meetings, going to events, and raising funds. So they are working really hard for you in Harris County. So I'm happy to take any questions. Ruthie, if you'd like to take questions. But thank you guys for giving me this. It's a room full of Democrats and no questions. This is amazing. Yes, sir.
So, the Democratic headquarters has moved, and can you just tell us, some of us know where the old headquarters are, but can you just refresh us?
That was the best softball ever. So,
We can't hear it. What was it?
the question that was asked was, where is our new office located? We had to move offices, and so we moved 60 days ago. 60 days ago, we moved into a new office, really like less than 60 days ago, but 6 weeks ago, we moved into a new office, and our new address is 4619 Lyons Avenue. We are in a very different part of town. It's an amazing neighborhood. We are just east of downtown. I'm going to tell you all how to get there from here so you know exactly where it is. It is off, everyone know where I-10 is. Everyone know where downtown is. If you're going east on I-10, you'll exit the first exit after downtown, which is on the other side of 59 and to Waco. And you exit Waco and you go north to Lyons, take a right on Lyons, and that is our address. We're in a brand new, we have an amazing Democrat who owns the building. His parents are very active in the legal room voters. We met randomly at an event, and this guy is our new landlord, so we're in a brand new building. We are running phone banks out of our office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there is not a day that our office is not open moving forward. We also have satellite offices around the county. We have one on Homestead, we have one in Pasadena, we have one on the southwest side, and one in Bay Area. So if you don't want to drive to the north side, don't worry, you have to stay on the south side for you. If you don't like the south side, you have the east side. So we are anywhere that the Democrats are, we have a satellite office to make it as easy as possible, because we believe that direct voter contact and talking to every single voter is how we're going to win this election, and we need all of your help to do that. Lizzie, this is also my boss, so just in case you don't know, I'm going to look at the driving force behind the office and tell me what to do.
She's our boss. She's your boss.
Absolutely. So we actually have a PowerPoint presentation that we were running around and going to the different clubs, so we can talk about the different initiatives that we're running this cycle. Vote by mail is the one that we're in the middle of, so it's the one I tend to focus on. We are also running initiatives to make sure we're talking to our Democratic base in Harris County. We are talking to women through our Sisters United program. We are talking to the AAPI community, which is the Asian American Pacific Islander community. We have an Asian American Pacific Islander organizer now that's working at the party. We are also running a Latino program where we're doing Spanish language phone banking, block walking, and Spanish language media. And then we're also running an African American program where we're focusing on getting out to the churches, getting out to events. If anybody knows who Dundee is, he's been promoting our Say Something program. If you go to the website saysomethingtexas.com, you can sign up there, and you can also commit to vote on the website, and we're going to different events like that. And then we've also launched a program called She's Got Magic, which is focusing on the 19 African American female candidates who are running for judge this cycle, which is the most African American female candidates we've ever had run for judge at one time in Harris County. I haven't looked to do the research for the rest of Texas, but it is, it's a historic year, so we are highlighting that also. And I think those are our base programs that we're running. So you just asked a very hard question. The question Joey asked is about, are we reaching out into high schools to educate seniors on who is voting, what are the issues that are on the ballot? I think that in Texas, everyone knows that in Texas it is a law that you are required to register to vote seniors who are within the time frame that they'll be eligible to vote while they're a senior, and then the 18-year-old seniors who are required to register to vote. It's a law that's actually been disputed greatly on how to put it into effect here in Texas. To my knowledge, the only way that someone like me can get onto your campus is if you have a student group invite me to speak, or if a teacher invited me to speak. I am not allowed to just come to your school, because believe me, I would have done it already. If I could just stand up there and then grab a mic in the middle of the school, but we're not allowed to do that. So if you are involved in a student association or organization, email us, let us know, we'll come and speak. Absolutely. You have to have permission to go on college campuses. I think that there's like a safe zone that you can just go and set up in, but in order to do any kind of an actual assembly, you have to have a student group invite you on campus. And let me say, I only know that to be true for UOH and Rice and UHD, so I don't know outside of it. Yeah. I like to believe that we are incredibly compliantly coordinated right now. The question he was asking is how are we coordinating between all different campaigns and candidates and state party and local party? For phone banking, absolutely. So the way that it works for the Harris County Democratic Party, for our vote by mail universe, we work directly with the state party. All of those targets are turned on in the voter file, so that we know exactly who we're calling. Every campaign here has the ability to see who our targets are and who we are calling to make sure, and they know, I kind of talk to my friends in the state party and they kind of laugh and say, we just work around the Harris County Democratic Party and we go to surrounding counties. But the Harris County Democratic Party, we are calling all of our contacts, and so we're incredibly coordinated with the state party, and then we work on different levels of different campaigns.
What about registration, voter registration happening? Do we have that going on as well at the same time?
So, that's a great question, because one of the things that's phenomenal about this election cycle is voter registration is higher than it's ever been. And we have more voter deputy registrars than we've ever had before. I think we have over 4,000 of them now who have been registering voters for the last 2 years, since 2016. So we have the most registrars we've ever had, and our registration is much higher than it's ever been. We also have organizations that work on the ground in the C3 and C4 side, which is the nonprofit side and then the PAC side, who all do different levels of voter registration. I believe there's a NOW t-shirt I see in the back.
Yes, and I have a comment to make about high school registration.
Nope, let me finish. Let me finish this answer first. So we have, NOW who does amazing work doing voter registration. We also have Battleground Texas who's been doing work, and their side is on the PAC side. So what they do is they're out registering. Yesterday, Battleground Texas registered 871 people in one day yesterday, which is amazing. And what they're going to do is put their voter registration straight into GOTP efforts. So every person they talk to register, they will then split to get them out to vote. So there's a very concerted registration effort. Yes, very good.
Quickly, I'm going to have to look at the capture and a number of organizations that are scheduled voter registration in our city of information of security like we have to. It's a one-stop shopping, you can sign up to register a voter.
I'm going to repeat that over with the mic. Now is the Karen now, well, Karen is wears a lot of hats, is here wearing an out shirt, right now is in the back, and she, said that if you would like to do voter registration, go see her. Is that it? Okay, awesome, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you, Lizzie, that was wonderful. So, our next speaker really doesn't need an introduction, but, I have a special place in my heart for him because I've been working with him right from the beginning. That was like almost, how long ago was that been? 15 months, so, I live in Congressional District 2, and of course Todd Lizzie is going to be our congressman. So
good evening, everybody. It's great to see you in Texas too. We're in Texas too right here, right now. And also Tuesday, this is how we get Harris County. You go across the state. I'm honored to be the nominee for this district, as Ruth mentioned. We got this race over a year ago at a time running against Ted Club. And everybody thought, wow, that's people were talking about us before it's a tall order to the defeating someone like Ted. We just put our head down, started working. We got raised over 2 quarters, and sure enough, on election night, we decided to retire. So it is the time we got a beautiful replace the Ted Club. And look, he's coming home. So we have a incredible opportunity to win this seat to help win the House in 2018. The first thing we go back on track. We got this race around for 2 primary reasons. First and foremost, we know that what makes this community in Texas too truly exceptional, and what makes our country truly exceptional is our people. And it's all about people, no exceptions, right? No exceptions, it's all about people. That's first and foremost, right? Secondly, so within Washington, it's broken. It is broken up there. Nothing's happening. There's no checks or balance on this president. Nothing's getting done. We've got to work together. And we look right here in our community again. Look here in Houston, Texas. People are working together to find solutions to get stuff done. Harvey has had such a huge impact on our community. We all know that, see that. We have seen how our community has responded. And I think back to like 1 year ago. Nobody was asking us to do a board here. Nobody cared, how long you've been here. Nobody cared what you look like, or how you pray, or how you love. They didn't care how you live, right? You just get to do it. Get to work, let's do it. That's what our community is all about. And that's what America's all about. We are all in the same boat, folks. We are all in the same boat. And we have got to get back on track and back moving forward together. There are 2 very clear futures. As I've seen groups all over our county, all over this region, there's a lot of folks turning out, there's a lot of energy. People see and understand this is one of the most important elections of our lifetime. And I want to be clear about this. Look, I've got to make a crowd here. We've got to go to some of our newest groups, I think one of our strongest groups here in Texas 2, TX-07 as well. This is an important election, not for the Democratic Party, not for the Republican Party. This is an important election for America. And there are 2 futures that we see for this country right now. There are 2 futures. There's a future where we're selling fear or we hate. It's about dividing us. It's about separating us. It's not about uniting us as one country. That's one future, folks. And there's another future, a second future. And it's what I believe America is all about, this idea that we're all in the same boat. It's about expanding access to opportunity, to liberty, to freedom, to justice for all people. Right here at home. That's what our country's about. And think about this. Think about America abroad. Expanding access to opportunity, to justice, to liberty, to freedom, for people all over the world. That's what's been about in the last 70 years. Moving institutions like NATO, like the United Nations, like the World Health Organization, the World Trade Organization, even those, America will be a superpower. We will be, like I said, we're going to be a superpower, but will we be a leading superpower? Or are we going to give our partner all over the world the same opportunity? To expand freedom, expand liberty, justice for all people. Folks, that's what 2018 is all about. What better community than the those the first city in this country will pay a line of the world for the world?
By Meyerman?
If you believe in what I'm saying, folks, we have a responsibility, we have a duty to lift that up and show this country with the world's mission. It's not scary, right? We don't need to build walls, right? We need to take our road, we don't need to build walls. You know, we don't need to separate families. That's what my brother talks about. That's what America's all about. I really look at this. It's not Democrat or Republican. This is an American thing, folks. We need a referendum blueprint, right? That's what's going to be sweeping through this country right now. That's what's going to be in this election in 2018. I am so honored to be the Democratic nominee for this seat. We're going to win this seat on November 6th. But we need to Florida City, we need each and every one of you. Please, come get involved with our campaign. We're right here in this right now. Our office is about 6 or 8 blocks that way, right? We're in Chelsea Marketplace, 4617 Montrose. Sweet City Pier 2. Come on down. Come on down. We'll take it there. Right? You call people, you drop off, please come on down. Spread the word on social media. Facebook page, Houses of Congress, Houses on Twitter, right? Spread the word. Let people know. We're going to win Texas too. We're going to build the House of Congress. That's what's going to happen. You got to spread the word. Make a contribution to the people. We got to raise money on their things. We got to make sure that we're right on people at the right time. We're doing all those things. Go to Congress.com and make a contribution to the team. 25 bucks less, 100 bucks less. Everybody really say let's start there tomorrow. And it's our brother for this entire community. Texas 2, Texas 6, we're going to win these races. That's going to help us win the county. That's going to help us win the state. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for your opportunities. I see a lot of people who support us, donors, contributors, who've been giving us your help and money. Thank you. This is how we work, folks. We work together. I'm honored to be here. I'll pay attention to you. I'll sit around with you as area over and do all this and run all over the place. Yes? Yeah, great question. I'll repeat it just in case you can hear it. When we get up to the 24 red areas in the district, Attleboro, Reception Line, Howard Field, first and foremost, we're going to help all those areas. Don't you know that? This morning at 8 a.m., I was with Champions at a Methodist church up there. You're invited to a group of 40 men. You will be every Wednesday. Anybody out there or not there? Yesterday was the Spring Climb, the Spring Climb Chamber of Commerce, talking out there. We've been block walking and keep one of those areas. I'll tell you the reception I get. What I want you to think a little bit about is how do you feel when you see that big red Texas on the electoral college map, right? Well, it kind of ticks me off, right? You know, I see that. We know there are a lot of great Democrats out here, right? Same thing is true there. So just think about that too, right? But we have some really strong Democrats in the Kingwood. And just like we know we're tested by fire down here, right, in Texas, they are as well, right? So, I mean, there are a lot of Democrats. They are raging, we just have to challenge you guys. They're raging on block walks with us. All right, we're going to write reports again on and we're report like this. They're there for swings every weekend, and they're going to do some during the week. They're getting a group together to block walk for our campaign and to support our efforts in Keywood right now. We're going out and supporting them too, obviously. But they're doing it themselves, so I challenge each and every one of you to think about it. Get a couple of friends together in your neighborhood and we can block walk for you. Reach out to our campaign at Toddlers.com, sign and all here. They're doing that. The reception's real. I'm not going to tell you to win Keywood, it's a problem night. But guess what? Just like Bedford, like all 254 counties, we're going everywhere. I'm not going to lose it 9-10. I'm not going to lose it 80-20. People are interested in what we're talking about, what we're saying. You know, they want somebody to listen. Unfortunately, they have a lot of our districts have been hit by the floodwaters, right, by Harvey. So they are thinking hard about, like, you know, maybe there's a role for government to play in helping not only help repair from the past damage that was done to Harvey, but to prepare for the future, right? To get the infrastructure we need to protect our people and our property. So, I'm just saying, again, what I was saying on Chief is, that's not a little bit and like that. People are, they're interested, they're listening, they're frustrated.
I'm really not big on politics, but I do believe let's get the parties together and let's get this damn thing going.
All right, we have a very educated, very diverse district right here in China, too.
Yeah.
I mean, skeptical beforehand, and we're seeing polling and all that kind of stuff, but they're not crazy about it. And we'll leave it at that.
Is this on TV? Is this thing on TV? Or is that just...
Oh, he was recording it. Facebook Live, I bet. Okay.
Well, the first thing is tell right here is vote for Justin Nelson. All right, Justin Nelson, he has about like 5 blocks away. I think at Lamar High School, he's running for Attorney General. Vote for Justin Nelson #1. Because we don't have these asinine lawsuits brought on our behalf here in Texas anymore by this indicting Attorney General we have. So, what I really want to say this again, thinking back to John McCain, right? When we saw, some of y'all saw the services this past weekend, it was really inspirational to think about how we need to work together. I love how President Obama talked about, we're all the same team. Doesn't matter if you're a red jersey or blue jersey. That's what I'm talking about, red, white, blue, red. All right, I mean, like, that's what we need to be thinking about. There's 7, I believe, right? This is pretty fresh, so I can get this wrong. I believe about 7 Republican senators who put a bill forward today saying, like, we're going to protect pre-existing conditions in your health care. In Congress, I'll support a bill like that, all right? I'll support in health care, like one of the key partners I hear about in Keywood and Champions down here in Montrose, all over our district about health care. And again, do we need to check it out to this president? Absolutely. All right, we look for those things. He ran on trying to drive up he said he's going to drive down the road prices. But let everything negotiate. Will that happen? Absolutely not. But we need that. And I'll fight for that. Because our road prices are about 60% higher than other developed countries. We need to make that happen for our people here in Texas too and around America. We've got to do things like that. Health is a key issue all over our district. Those are the issues we hear the most about. I'm trying to move my voice. I got 2 more months though, so I need your help. All right, you got voice, you know, let's do it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to do it. Thank you for all your work. Thank you. Let's go. All right.
Okay, I think our next speaker doesn't need any introduction either. So I'm just going to let her come up here and tell us about the amazing campaign that she's been running. Our next Congresswoman from Congressional District 7.
Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you for being here. I see so many friendly and familiar faces in the crowd, so I'm not going to give you guys much spiel about, who I am and why I'm doing this, because you all know. In fact, we were just here a couple months ago for the debate and the runoff, and it's just so exciting to be here and be so close to the election. So what I'd love to do is give you guys a little update and then answer questions you have, things you want to know about. But there's some really exciting things happening, and the coolest part of doing this and being a candidate is getting to work with so many amazing people, to talk to people in our community, to talk to representatives in Washington about the things that they're trying to accomplish, and to have the privilege of carrying forward the hopes of everybody in this room and across this district who are ready to replace John Culberson with someone who actually cares. So today is a particularly really exciting day for the campaign. I don't know, show of hands, how many people are on our email list? And how many people don't get the emails into their spam filter? But if you got our email today, we put our first ad out today on broadcast TV. And that's a big step in the campaign. And we think it's important here. We work really hard and are very grateful to people across this community who have stepped up in such an incredible way to support the campaign. Because a huge part of doing that means you have to have the resources to get up on TV. And I didn't know anything about doing this before I signed on as a candidate. I just knew that John Culberson wasn't doing a good job representing me, and I could figure the rest out. But what I learned about campaigning is that it's really important to get your message out, and there are a few ways to do it. Now, in this era of TV, I think everyone's wondering who's going to watch TV anymore, should it all be online? I don't know the answer, so we're just doing it all. But it is true that TV is kind of a blunt instrument, but it gets out to everybody. Everyone in the community sees it, and it was important to us to go up before the Republican attack ads start with our message about Houston and why I'm running for Congress. And the funny thing for me is that I came up with this little slogan in my own little office in my house a year and a half ago when I was thinking about doing this and thinking about why am I really doing this? What is it that I think I can bring here? And I really do think that our community, the Houston that I grew up in, the Houston that I've been working in, the community that I know and love is one that is welcoming, that is creative and innovative, that works hard, that works together. And these values are the things I think we need to see a whole lot more than Washington. So I don't know how many people clicked through and actually watched the ad when they got the email. And a few people told me they saw it on TV when they were getting ready for work today. So really exciting, but we are thrilled in the campaign that we've been able to get that positive message out, and it's getting a great response. And that's what we want to try to do until November, is keep getting the positive word about what we can accomplish together. And I've had the opportunity now to appear with John Culberson. There'll be a few more, so in terms of campaign updates, everybody mark on your calendar, October 15th, we will have a debate. So that is exciting. A few details still to be determined, but it'll be at the University of Houston. It'll be on Channel 13, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for voters to see the contrast between the two of us. And what I have seen is what he's going to tell everybody. I've seen it now on a couple of TV interviews, I've seen it in print, and I've seen him giving this speech in person, that right now, he says, he's a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, he's been in Congress for 18 years, we need a lot of money here after Harvey, and so the stakes are too high for us to do anything other than vote for him. And my response to that, and the one that I hope that you all will carry out to the community, is that given everything that's happening in our country, the fact that he's now erased any mention of health care from his website, which is the #1 issue people have been talking to me about for a year and a half, the fact that he takes great pride in closing the borders and making sure that that people can't move forward on any kind of comprehensive immigration reform because the House refuses to take it up and even bring it to a vote, even look at the Senate bill from 2013. Those kinds of things that he's fixated on, he's going to tell everybody that we should just keep things that way, the status quo. But what I've heard from people as a candidate is that they're tired of Washington not working for us. They are tired of people going up to Washington and not getting to work, not trying to compromise, not trying to find solutions, not rolling up their sleeves. And what I think we need, and what I think this community has said loud and clear, is that the stakes are too high for us to do anything other than send someone else to Washington. So,
Well, that was a political conference to have a meeting.
So that's the message that we really want to share, is that he's advocating for the status quo and keeping things the way they are. And what we know is that the way that things are aren't working for the majority of Americans. And people are frustrated, people are ready for
representatives who are going to work across the aisle, representatives who aren't going to shut off debate, leadership that isn't going to refuse to bring bills to the floor unless a majority supports the legislation and it's certain to pass, which is how Paul Ryan is running the House of Representatives right now. And it's those types of things that have really led to gridlock. And that is what is driving, I think, a lot of things behind this election. So, with that said, we feel like this Houston can-do message really resonates because that is who we are. And John Culberson is not embodying that message. But what I've seen in this district is that we absolutely can. So like I said, it's an absolute privilege to be the candidate and to be the person who gets to go out and talk about how great this community is. But it's powered by pretty much everybody in this room. It's powered by the people who have been coming to our office every day, making phone calls, knocking on doors, writing postcards, sharing things on social media. Andrew Edmonds over here, he always has great posts. I love seeing them pop up in my newsfeed. Because, you know, it's all about just getting the word out. And so that's why, like I mentioned when I started, we're so excited to have our ad up on TV today. We're excited about the coverage that we've been getting, and I don't know if y'all have tracked that too, but every day we continue to get more attention on this race. And everybody, every major organization, every major ratings group has rated this a toss-up. It showed up this morning in the top 10. There's another article this afternoon, top 12 races to watch. We were on the NBC list of the top 25 races in the country, and it was the only race in Texas that was on that list. And I think that it really is a testament to all the hard work in this community, because I think the benefit that we all saw of having 7 incredible candidates who all brought a different perspective, but a genuine interest in making sure that we were able to get our message out in the primary, and that we are able to talk about how John Culberson has failed us, and having this incredible group of candidates meant that we had a 500% increase in voter turnout in the March primary election, which is huge. So that's exciting, and I think we're seeing that energy carrying forward to November. So we have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of things ahead. For everybody who saw there was an article in the Atlantic this weekend kind of profiling the race too. I think that we will hear a consistent message from John Culberson that we should just keep going because we really need him. And I encourage you, as you're out talking to people and talking about the race, it is absolutely winnable. And the question isn't what has John Culberson done in the last year, it's what has he done in the last 18 years. And for people who flooded 2 and 3 times, they know that he didn't do anything before Hurricane Harvey. And I asked this question, we put out a timeline on our website that's very useful for those who haven't seen it. It's also incredibly well designed, and I can take no credit for that. We have a really amazing team, and Andrea Peterson, who you may know in our office, put together this great graphic showing his record of inaction and the things that he hasn't done. In 2016, after we had the Memorial Day flood, the Tax Day flood, Al Green and Jean Rooney spearheaded a bill to get more than $300 million worth of funding to finish all of the projects that the Army Corps of Engineers identified in the region for flood control. And John Culberson, who is in the majority and on the Appropriations Committee, didn't lead the bill. And that's a question we need to ask him again and again. What were you advocating for instead of us? And the answer that you'll see if you look closely is he spent a lot of money building a telescope in South America. He gave more than they wanted. He gave more than they wanted to build a border wall. That's where he is spending his energy and his time, and his priorities are really different than ours. And I think it's time that he sees that the people he's accountable to is not the leadership in Washington, it's the voters in this community. And I think he's going to see that in November. We have incredible momentum. Who's been reading the articles and watching the Ted Cruz veto fight over the yard signs? It's hilarious. And I will say, in Ted Cruz's defense, that experienced political people do say yard signs don't vote, because they've said it to me, but I love seeing them. it's a little surreal. And the other day I was leaving, I was at Simple Market, and I was walking out, and I saw a bumper sticker with my name on it, and I had no idea whose car it was. That was really cool and also kind of weird. But, you know, seeing the yard signs, seeing the momentum, it's like people are engaged, and I definitely see people here too who've been delivering yard signs, getting them placed in people's yards. But it's a sign that people are ready, that people are putting themselves out there, some for the first time. It's true of volunteers, it's true of yard signs, it's true of bumper stickers. People want change and want to show and want to engage. And so what we're trying to do in our campaign is give people lots of ways to do it. I know several of you have been to our office over on Richmond. We are opening a second office out on Clay Road and Highway 6. That will be a great way to get to the western portion of the district. And we're going to have a grand opening this Sunday. It's on Facebook, but I think it's this Sunday afternoon. The weeks are kind of joining together. But that's going to give a great opportunity. A lot of the folks in Swing Left have been out there canvassing every day. There are precinct chairs. We just had a ton of precinct chairs. We were in our office last week for precinct chair breakfast. Just working every single precinct. And so what I found as a candidate is that there's incredible infrastructure in Harris County, the Harris County Democratic Party, that new clubs like this one, and the West Houston Democrats, which is also a new club that is extremely active, give people an incredible opportunity in addition to the other groups that have been working with Meyer Landon and others, you know, for years, that people are finding these clubs, they're getting involved, they're getting organized, and that's how we're going to win. It's because people in this community are ready to do it. So I see a hand. I'm happy to kind of take some questions, and I'm almost any topic. I can't guarantee any all the answers. But I'll start with
Well,
you.
I was just going to say, and I do not mean any offense to anyone in this room, but I don't see a lot of people under age. How do you better engage? I live literally a block away. There are a lot of very young people in our neighborhood who are not here. How do we make sure that they come out and what do we do to get them engaged?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Few years. But they go fast. We've done a lot in our campaign to try to engage younger people. I've been speaking in high school, which has been a great way to recruit interns and volunteers. We've done a fellowship program, and so we've got a lot of students from multiple high schools around town and colleges. We've worked with some of the college clubs, the Democrats at Rice, U of H. So we're trying to reach out mainly to schools and to previously organized groups. One of the things that's great I found is that when you engage a handful of teenagers, they bring a whole lot more. You know, it's kind of like a Seinfeld. But, you know, we had incredible volunteers. It was very sad when we were in the last 2 weeks. A lot of them went off to college. And some of them were sending off for their absentee ballots, which was extremely cool. I voted by mail when I was in college. And remember how exciting that was. So we have done that. And I think that, you know, one of the things we're trying to do too is have a good presence on social media. And on social media channels I wasn't even on before.
And I don't want to interrupt you, but my husband donated to your and others who are here campaign. Just to be honest about it, is I cannot find them on your website. And I also am the president of Women's Civic Club, which is a civic club which is directly north of that. And we had no notice of it. So I just want to encourage you to reach out to people like that, because we have a lot of people who I know. Justin Nelson, who is running, his mom is our neighbor. So we are resident supporters of him. So just to give you some support from that perspective is maybe broadening your reach only.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I used to live in Mandel Place. And it used to be in the 7th Congressional District. It's not probably what you haven't heard directly as much from me as from Justin or from Todd, who would represent this area. But I do think it's important for everyone in our community to know that this race is a place where we can really flip the seat. And so people from all over the Houston area are engaged in our race, and I highly encourage it. And it used to be, when I lived over on Hawthorne, that John Culberson was my rep. But redistricting and gerrymandering ended that and carved out, basically, now I'm west of Shepherd and then west of Purview, south of Bissonnette. And it was to carve out Rice and the Med Center, which I can't imagine giving up. But that may be why you haven't heard directly, but we are trying to meet with some super neighborhood groups and other groups. And I think if anybody's involved in an organization, we reach out to chambers of commerce, different neighborhood groups, and I think if somebody's involved in a group like that, that's really important, because one of the messages that we try to carry through in this campaign is that we're going to ask everybody to vote for me. I'm asking every person in the district to consider voting for me, because I'm going to represent everybody in the district, whether they vote for me or not. And I want them to know who's going to be their advocate, who's going to be their partner, who's going to prioritize their needs, even if we're not always see eye to eye on every single issue. I think that that's really important to remember as a representative, that you are there to represent everyone and do the best you can for everyone who lives in the district. Yeah, okay, one more question. Yeah, I think that it is important to educate voters and to do it in a way that's constructive and that's helpful, but to say, you know, here's where John Culberson is on the issues, and we can look at groups that are proxies for things that you're interested in, you know, whether it's his 0% rating from NARAL and Planned Parenthood and the Human Rights Campaign, his A+ rating from the NRA. There is sort of a shorthand. But more specifically, you know, what we're focused on is how his votes have affected people who live in our district. Like his dozens of votes to repeal the Affordable Care Act with no plan in place. So like 339,000 people who live in this district with pre-existing conditions without health care. That's what we want to talk about, and we want to make sure that we're getting our votes. We're trying to do it on Facebook, we're trying to do it on Twitter. We will probably have a limited number of ads that go up on TV. So I think it's important for voters to know and to be educated, and what I would love is if everybody here isn't already on our Facebook page or doesn't follow me on Twitter or follow the campaign on Twitter, to do that and to kind of retweet and share, because that's a great place to put out information and to help circulate it to new people who maybe aren't already on the website or aren't already paying attention. I think a lot of people are focused now traditionally after Labor Day is when it really picks up. And this is the time to get the message out. So we're going to be talking about a positive vision for Houston and what my priorities are, but I do think it's important that people understand why John Culberson needs to be replaced. So, okay, and I know Ruby said that was the last question, so I thank you all for being here and giving me a chance to say hello and thank you.
Business for our club, so I'm going to let Ingrid Bond do that for us.